This is Paranormal Short Session 8 by Keith Evans at the Chestnut Street Cemetery in Apalachicola, Florida. Today is Wednesday, the 5th of March, 2025. I'm at the tombstone of Mrs. Isabella Pierce. And her tombstone has a large headstone and a really nice footstone, as you can see here, with the initials IP, Isabella Pierce. See the footstone there. Footstone is actually resting on a base, and it's got an open type grave cradle around the grave, which butts up to the base that the footstone is sitting on. And also that open grave cradle butts up to the base that the large headstone is sitting on, which is actually two bases. There's one here, one here. So there's three parts to the headstone. Two bases and the actual old headstone. So, Mrs. Isabella, I'd like to start out by using the obelisk 5B and asking you some questions. But before I do that, I want to point out the deep crack in Mrs. Isabella's tombstone here. It goes all the way through. And thank God that someone was able to repair it. It's a pretty good repair. You see that there. We'll look at it from the back. See on the sides, it went all the way through, full thickness. Break. See it on this side too. See it from the back. And it's very important for us to preserve the history, especially for paranormal researchers that want to do paranormal research. I think the tombstones and grave cradles are great trigger objects, which if they were gone and forgotten about, the ghosts of spirits might just forget about us and not come back to communicate with us. So I think it's very important that we preserve the historical landmarks and tombstones and grave cradles and, historical cemeteries all together. All right, Mrs. Isabella Pierce, I'm going to turn on my obelisk 5's yes or no mode. Well, and I'm going to ask you a question. Mrs. Isabella, did you have 3 children? Yes or no? Yes would be green and red would be no. The eye on Isabella is very hard to see. I'll show a close-up. It almost looked like Sabella until I saw she said no, she did not have 3 children. All right. Thank you, Mrs. Isabella. You can see here see how the eye is very hard to see on Isabella. It almost looks like Sabella, but there's an eye there, because the footstone is I, initials I and P. All right, my next question, Mrs. Isabella Pierce, did you have 2 children? I'm going to start the true or false. What's going on here? So, Mrs. Isabella Pierce, did you have 2 children? Yes or no? Yes would be green and red would be no. Yes, she had two. All right, thank you, Mrs. Isabella Pierce. All right, my next question with the yes or no mode. Mrs. Isabella, was your husband's name Sam? S-A-M? Well, it's already lit up green. So you already answered green to yes? Well, let's see if his tombstone is nearby. I haven't read any of the tombstones. Yeah, it's saying yes, even though the line isn't quite up there yet. All right. All right, thank you, Mrs. Isabella Pierce. Let me go ahead and check the neighboring tombstones to see. I don't see a Sam here. I see Captain Alton Pierce. Let's go next door and check that tombstone and see what the name is that's on it. This one here might be a child. It's a shorter grave cradle or a teenager. It looks like Lott Pierce, but I don't see a Sam. Looks like maybe Abel, Abell. And this is Georgia Lucas, which is a female. Well, maybe her husband was not buried here. Maybe he was buried someplace else. All right. Mrs. Isabella Pierce, did you live in Apalachicola for at least 10 years? Well, I hope everyone will check out my two books. My oldest book, published in 2018, The Hayes House Ghost for People 2, is only available now in ebook at Kindle. Okay, she said yes, she did live in Apalachicola more than 10 years. And my other book, just published in about October of 2024, it is available both in paperback on Amazon, and they could be carried where other good books are sold online. It is also available on ebook on Kindle. So I appreciate you checking that out. And Mrs. Isabella, did you live at least 20 years in Apalachicola? See, a lot of times people move to Apalachicola later on in life, so they may have not spent their whole life here. It says, well, they might have called him Sam, but I read lower. It says, Isabella, okay, she said green for, yes, she was here for 20 years. But it says here, Alton Pierce is her husband. So Isabella was the beloved wife of Mr. Alton Pierce, born in Apalachicola, Florida. Okay, it's her tombstone. So she was born in Apalachicola, and looks like November 10th, 1852, and she passed away November 22nd, is that 1895? Well, that would be at least 42 years. Wow. All right, I'm going to switch over to the ABCs. And my first question to Mrs. Pierce, how many years altogether did you live here in Apalachicola? There might have been times when she moved away, even though she was born here and passed away here. Was it Nana, Nana, and Heavy, Heavy? That's what it looks like. Nana Heavy. I don't know if you can see that at home. It doesn't come in very plain during the sunlight. It'd be nice if they made an obelisk that would be very clear both in day and night. But Nana, Nana, and Heavy, Heavy. Mrs. Pierce, was your name, did people call you Nana? Did your grandchildren and great-grandchildren call you Nana? Well, she passed away at 42. She might have still had grandchildren by that time. Over here, it says Captain Alton Pierce, which would be her husband. He was born in 1843, about 9 years before she was, and he lived until October 30th of 1914. So he actually passed away about 21 years after she did. The writing at the bottom is very hard to read. Was it every year the Father calleth some, I can't read the next word, one to endless rest, and the heart, though filled with anguish, can, I can't read the next word, cry, be lined with rest. That's a interesting passage. All right, Mrs. Isabella Pierce, I guess you used most of your energy with the yes or no, true and false mode of the obelisk 5B. Mrs. Pierce, can you tell me what you passed away from? Got another word. Looks like students. 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 It's very hard to see. And rocket. Rocket. Well, that's coming in clear now. Thank you, Ghost of Spirits. Heavy students. Rocket. Are you saying that the students' rocket was heavy? Well, maybe that's what they're saying. I don't know. It might have been some type of thing that they were using just to, like when I was in middle school, we used to have a class where kids would buy their rockets and the teacher would take them out and let them set their rockets off. It was like a model rocket, just a rocket that had a firework explosive set to it, and he would set it off so you could detonate it so no one would be hurt and everyone would be at a good range back from when it went off. Most of them only went up maybe 50 to 100 feet and came back down. All right, Mrs. Pierce, I'm very happy that you talked to me today, and thank you for giving me some words on my obelisk ABC mode and on Thank you for answering my true and false and yes and no questions on my true and false mode of the Obelisk 5B. And I'd just like to say thank you to everyone at home that supports my paranormal research and watches my YouTube channel called Paranormal Short Sessions by Keith Evans, and also watches my Facebook and Instagram posts and videos. And I do post the promos from my paranormal short sessions on Facebook and Instagram, but they cut them off sometimes as short as 30 seconds to 60 seconds. So if you want to see the entire promo, you got to go to the YouTube channel, Paranormal Short Sessions by Keith Evans, to see the entirety of the promos and all of my paranormal short sessions. So please check out my 2 books on Kindle, The Hayes House, Ghost or People 2, and also on Kindle is Vampires Dead or Alive. The only paperback I have now is Vampires Dead or Alive, which is available on Amazon, and other online book carriers can contract with Amazon to carry my book. So if you have a certain favorite place you like to purchase your books online, check that out first. If it's not there, it'll definitely be on Amazon. So thank you, everyone. I appreciate all your help. And this has been Paranormal Short Session 8 from by Keith Evans and at the Chestnut Street Cemetery with Mrs. Isabella Pierce. And today is Wednesday, the 5th of March, 2025. Everyone have a good day. Thank you.